Hi again, everybody. So today I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing in mining coins on my own. So currently I'm trying to mine Ethereum as well as Decred, I think is the name of the coin. I'm currently using what they call like a Claymore mining tool. So I kind of like this one because it kind of gives you, I like the visual presentation that it gives out. It sends what my current hash rate is to whatever pool I'm using. And in my little bit of testing, it's occasionally a little bit faster than some of the other like more free tools that I'm using. So the catch with this particular tool is that it does have the ability to mine two coins at the same time. And as far as performance-wise, it doesn't impact my performance on Ethereum too much when I'm mining Ethereum as well as the DCR or Decred coin. But the catch is that about every hour or so, it'll mine for the developer of the tool for about a minute or so. So that's kind of the downside. Instead of you paying for the tool that he's developed and optimized, you're contributing a little bit of your hashing power to him or her for about a minute every hour. So about 24 minutes a day, you're hashing, you're contributing your power to the developer. So that's the thing to keep in mind if you do decide to use this particular tool. But there's a lot of different ones out there that you can use. Other thing is that when you're doing this mining and hashing, you kind of want to try to configure your settings for your graphics cards to be most optimal for whatever coin you're mining. So in my case, I'm doing Ethereum and Decred. So Decred seemed like it likes higher GPU speed and higher clock speeds on the GPU, and Ethereum seemed like it likes higher memory speed, at least with the graphics cards that I have. Other thing that I noticed, I'm not sure if there's something wrong with the current version of the ATI or AMD graphic drivers that I have, but I noticed over the last few weeks that my hash speed has been dropping, and then also within the GUI that they provide, where I can tweak some of these settings, I no longer have access to both of my GPUs. I'm not sure why. It kind of just vanished. So prior, when I go into the AMD Radeon settings tool, go back here a couple. Let's go more. And let's go to global settings. So this particular system I know actually has two graphics cards in it, but for whatever reason, both of them does not show up in the global settings anymore. Actually does not want to come up at all. What's going on? Let me go all the way back out. So I'll go all the way back out, hit on gaming, then hit global settings. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It's not even opening at all now. Definitely seemed like there's some type of problem been going on with this particular application, or at least on my system over the last few weeks, where it just hasn't been working properly. It seemed like when I adjust settings, I think it's only applying to one of the GPUs, because actually these two GPUs are they're not the exact same brand, but they're the same tier. So they're both what's in the system? These are maybe RX 56 or something like that, I believe. But I noticed that, yeah, the speed or they're way lower than they previously were. So I think before I was getting maybe like 35 mega hashes per second per card, and now it's like one is hovering around 25 and the other is hovering around near 30. So I'm not sure what's causing that. But yeah, this program seems to be completely jacked up right now. So let's go ahead and close that out. Like it crashed. Let's try to open that up again. Maybe we may have better luck this time. And I'll just try to go back up in there and see what's happened. So go gaming, global settings. There we go. So what I was seeing normally here, this is where it says global Wattman. I would actually see two entries here. But over the last few weeks, that other entry for the other graphics card has disappeared. So I haven't rebooted the system or tried to troubleshoot really what's happening, or just kind of just let it keep hashing away and running. Since I see they're both still running, but they're both running at way below the speed that they normally were running as. So here we're taking a look at the AMD Radeon settings. So in this particular system, I have two Radeon Vega cards that are currently hashing away on Ethereum and Decred. And then within the Radeon settings tool, there are various different settings that you can adjust to not only decrease the amount of power that you're consuming for mining, but also increase your performance for mining. So on my particular card right now, I'm using about 1100, a little bit less than 1100 megahertz clock speed is what I have it set to. So it'll fluctuate a little bit above that, a little bit below that, depending on available power and things like that that I have assigned to it. And then also you can adjust things like the voltage. I haven't played too much with the voltage to really know what impact that'll have. But I have played with, like I said, the GPU speed, clock speed, as well as the memory clock speed. And right now I have this locked at about 955 megahertz as the maximum speed. But I have had this up to about 1050 stable on the system. But what I noticed, I have a Wattman, I think is what they're called, where I can kind of look and see how much power I'm consuming. When I was running at those higher rates, I noticed I was consuming quite a bit more power for, I'd say, a minimum amount of gain as far as hash rate. It definitely was faster, but the power consumption increase, I don't think was worth it. So I kind of dialed that back down, and I kind of been testing at a 955 megahertz recently. Again, I haven't really done much with the voltage on the memory as well. Other things you can do a little bit further down, you can adjust things as far as this fan speed and your target temperatures. So right now I have a target temperature of 75 degrees Celsius and a max of 85 degrees Celsius. So what will happen as this card is getting like above that target temperature, it'll start running the fans higher to try to knock that back down. So you can see it just dropped back down to 75. And I have my fans running at a pretty high clip right now to try to balance out that heat because these Vega cards tend to seem like they generate quite a bit of heat in comparison to say like a GTX 1070 or 1080. Those seem to run a lot cooler than these Vega cards. But I tested with both, and I seem to get a little bit better, well, significantly better hash rate out of the Vegas than I have out of the like the GTX 1070. But the 1070, like I said, is a little bit more power efficient than the Vegas. Uh, but so in mine, I'm kind of limiting the power, so I'm reducing power about 20%. So what will happen if as the card bumps up into those higher power limits, it'll start downclocking the memory or downclocking the GPU to stay within those limits that I've set. May go a little bit outside of that from time to time, but not very much outside of that. What I've said. The same, like I said, same for the temperature. And one thing I notice a lot about these Vega cards is that they tend to throttle quite a bit when they're under heat stress. So I'm running my clocks. I mean, my fan speeds are quite high right now. And my cars actually they're not in any type of like mining case or mining specific case. They're just in a general regular computer case. It's closed and it's concealed, so it's probably not optimal for mining. But this is just kind of one of my gaming systems that I repurpose for mining when I'm not playing PC games or anything like that. Let it potentially earn me a few coins over time. So yeah, that's kind of a quick overview of what I have going on the mining side. I'm currently mining those two coins and kind of tweaking the settings a little bit to see how optimal I can get it. So hopefully that's been useful. Maybe do a more deep dive at a later date on this, on exactly where the tools are, how to set up the tools and things like that. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.